Questions. My dear friends, today we speak about something every dreamer, every achiever, and every passionate human being will face on their journey, the haters. I once read a quote that said, questions. When people throw stones at you, pick them up and build something phenomenal. And I thought, wow, isn't that the most practical use of haters? Questions. Don't fight them, don't fear them, just build something so beautiful that they run out of stones. But let's start with a very simple truth. The moment you decide to rise, questions, someone will feel threatened. The moment you decide to grow, someone will feel insecure. The moment you decide to shine, someone will feel blinded. And that, my dear friends, questions, is where your focus gets tested. Imagine driving a car. Every few seconds, someone on the sidewalk is shouting something at you. Questions. Go left. Go right. You're going too fast. You're too slow. If you listen to all of them, you would crash in the first 2 minutes. That's what happens with life too. Questions. If you listen to every hater, critic, and negative comment, you lose direction. Your destination cannot be controlled by their opinions. When someone criticizes your success, questions, they are not actually reacting to you. They are reacting to the version of themselves they see in comparison with you. Your discipline reminds them of their laziness. Questions. Your progress reminds them of their stagnation. Your courage reminds them of their excuses. So next time someone hates you, smile gently and say in your mind, questions. I understand you're not really angry at me. You're angry at what you're not doing. And continue walking. Have you ever seen anyone try to pull down a tree seed? Of course not. Questions. It's too small. But the moment it becomes a sapling, people may step on it. When it becomes bigger, people try to cut the branches. And when it becomes a big, questions, fruitful tree, people throw sticks and stones at it to get the fruits. So if people are throwing things at you, relax. It means you have fruits. Gaur Gopal Das Jai always says, questions. It's better to lose the ego than to lose your peace. When haters attack, your ego wants to argue. Your mind wants to shout. Your heart wants to break. Questions. But your soul whispers something else. Stay calm. Stay kind. Stay grounded. A focus is not just a mental skill. It is a spiritual discipline. Every time you react, you empower them. Questions. Every time you ignore and keep working, you overpower them. Think of energy like water. You can either, questions, pour it on the fire of drama or pour it on the seeds of your dreams. Most people choose the fire. Winners choose the seeds. Your environment matters. Questions. Even the most powerful seed cannot grow in a toxic soil. And even a weak seed can grow beautifully in fertile, loving soil. Choose your people carefully, people who uplift you. Questions. Not drain you, people who clap for you even when the world is silent. People who remind you your dreams are valid. Remember, you don't need more followers. You need more supporters. Sometimes, questions. The smartest thing you can say is nothing, not because you are weak, but because you are focused. A lion never responds to the barking of dogs, not out of pride, but because he has a destination. Questions. Your silence confuses haters more than your arguments ever will. Imagine this conversation, Hatter. But you can't do it. You, watch me, Hatter. You'll fatal. You, questions. Watch me again, but Hatter, that's impossible. You, watch me make it possible. Are the sweetest revenges success. Not noisy success, but graceful, humble, peaceful success. Questions. The type of success that doesn't scream, it simply shines. If you decide to climb a mountain and someone says, questions, it's too high, it's too risky, it's too difficult. Remember, they're giving advice from the bottom of the mountain. They can't see what you see. Questions. They can't feel what you feel. So don't adjust your dreams to fit their limitations. Adjust your focus to fit your calling. This is the most beautiful part. Questions. People who doubted you, people who spread negativity, people who pulled you down eventually become the same people who say questions. I knew you would make it, Pa. I always believed in you. My friends, I say this with compassion, forgive them. Bless them. Questions. Because they taught you resilience, they trained your focus, and they gave you the motivation they never intended to give. My dear friends, questions. Haters are a sign that you are doing something meaningful. Don't let them distract you. Don't let them define you. Don't let them derail you. Instead, questions. Let them serve as reminders that your journey is important, your mission is valuable, and your destiny is calling. Remember this simple formula. Questions. Focus plus consistency plus silence. Unstoppable success. May you walk your path with courage, with compassion, with clarity, and with unshakable focus. Thank you. Stay blessed, stay focused, question and stay rising. Questions. In life, one of the greatest challenges is not the mountain in front of us, but the voices around us. Opinions. So many of them, flying toward us from every direction. Some come softly, some harshly. Questions. Some out of care and some out of insecurity. But the truth remains, if you try to live your life based on everyone's opinions, you will lose the very essence of your life. Imagine this simple scene. Questions. You're walking down a street holding an ice cream. A stranger walks by and says, why vanilla chocolate is better, ba? Another person passes and says, why ice cream? Questions, you should eat healthy. A third one comments, why so slow? Walk faster. And a fourth says, why walking? Take a cab. By the time you reach the end of the street, questions, you've forgotten why you even wanted the ice cream in the first place. This is exactly what happens in real life. The more you listen to random opinions, questions, the more you lose connection with your own purpose. You start doubting your own decisions. Your inner voice becomes so quiet that you can't hear it anymore. You see, when you choose a path, questions, every person around you will have something to say. Some will say the path is too long. Some will say it's too risky. Some will say it's too unusual. Some will say it's too unrealistic. Questions. But you must remember a simple truth. People can only comment based on where they stand, not where you are going. Imagine you're climbing a hill. Questions. A person standing at the bottom sees only rocks and rough terrain. But you who has climbed halfway can see a breathtaking view. Questions. And someone who has reached the top sees the entire world beyond the hill. Opinions change depending on the perspective of the person speaking. Questions. So why allow someone who is standing at the bottom of the mountain to decide whether you should climb or not? There's a story of a young boy who loved painting. His relatives constantly told him, questions, painting won't give you a stable career. His friends laughed, bro, painting, who even becomes successful in that? His neighbors commented, questions, try for a government job instead. But the boy didn't stop painting. He wasn't arrogant, he simply knew his calling. Today, questions, he earns more from a single painting than his critics earn in 3 months. If he had listened to the noise around him, the world would have lost an artist. Questions. Let me give you a real life example you'll instantly relate to. Think of the moment you told someone your dream. You shared it with excitement and passion, expecting support. Questions. But what did you receive? Are you sure? That's too risky. I don't think that's for you. People like us don't reach that far. Suddenly, your confidence shakes. Questions. Not because your dream is wrong, but because someone lacking vision tried to evaluate your vision. Another everyday exemplar. Imagine you're learning to drive. You sit in the car. Questions. Nervous but determined. The instructor guides you. But suddenly, your friend sitting behind says, bro, you're too slow. Another one says, you brake too hard. A bystander outside says, questions. Watch the road. Now you panic, you grip the steering tightly. You lose focus not because driving is hard, but because too many people are trying to control your hands. This is life. Questions. You know how to drive your life, but people sitting in the back seat want to steer with their mouths. If you keep adjusting your direction based on their reactions, you will crash. Questions. Some people offer opinions without understanding your goal. Some give suggestions without knowing your capabilities. Some discourage you because they couldn't achieve their own dreams. Questions. And some criticize because your courage makes them uncomfortable. But here's what truly separates focused people from distracted ones. Focused people know which voice to listen to. Questions. And which voice to walk away from. You must develop the courage to say, "Thank you for your opinion, but I choose to follow my vision." A classic example comes from students. Questions. A student may decide to pursue medicine, but their friends tease them for studying too much. A student may decide to pursue entrepreneurship. Questions. But relatives criticize them for not choosing a secure path. A student may choose art, but society questions it. But when those same students succeed, the world changes the dialogue. Questions. The same people who doubted them proudly say, "We always knew they had potential." That's the magic of focus. When you follow your vision consistently, opinions fade, noise dies. Questions. And only results remain. Remember, people will always talk. They will talk when you fail. They will talk when you succeed. They will even talk when you do nothing. Questions. So why let their words stop you from doing something meaningful? Imagine a train leaving the station. As it starts moving, people stand outside, watching, commenting, judging its speed, its direction. Questions. Its sound. But the train doesn't stop to answer. It keeps moving because it knows its destination. The train doesn't slow down for random voices because it has a timetable to follow. Questions. That's how your life should be. Every minute you waste worrying about opinions is a minute taken away from your purpose. Opinions are cheap. Vision is priceless. Opinions change. Vision stays. Questions. Opinions belong to others. Vision belongs to you. So, my dear friend, walk your path with confidence. Let people talk. Let them comment. Let them doubt. That's their job. Your job is to stay focused. Questions. Stay committed and stay true to the journey your heart has chosen. Ignore their opinions. Follow your vision. And one day, the same people who questioned your path will ask you for directions. Questions. One of the greatest realizations you can make in life is this: people are not reacting to who you are. They are reacting to who they become when they compare themselves to you. Questions. Many of the negative comments, judgments, insults, and discouraging words you hear are not about your worth. They are about someone else's wounds. It's like holding up a mirror. Questions. When someone stands in front of a mirror, they don't see the mirror. They see their own reflection. And often, when people look at you, they aren't seeing you. They're seeing their fears, questions, their shortcomings, their unfulfilled desires, their regrets, and their failures reflected in your progress. So when they speak, questions, they're not speaking about you, they're speaking from the pain inside themselves. Think of this simple everyday example. You decide to wake up early and start going for a morning run. Questions. You feel good, healthy, energized, but your friend who always wakes up late says, "Why are you pretending to be so disciplined?" Another one laughs, "Bro, questions, this fitness thing won't last." Someone else comments, "You're doing too much." Now pause and reflect. Are they really criticizing your running? Questions. Or are they criticizing the guilt they feel because they are not doing it? Your effort reminded them of their excuses. Your discipline reminded them of their laziness. Questions. Your new lifestyle made them uncomfortable with their old one. And instead of improving themselves, they choose to attack you. Questions. Not because you did something wrong, but because they don't like what they see in the reflection you unknowingly showed them. Let's take another everyday example. Questions. Imagine someone sees you studying late at night. They comment, "Why study so hard?" life is not that serious. But deep down, they know they wasted their own time. Questions. They know they didn't give their best. Instead of changing their habits, they try to convince you to lower your standards so they can feel better about themselves. Or you start a small business. Questions. You're excited, you tell someone proudly. Instead of support, you hear questions. Are you sure this will even work? People are already doing this stuff. What if you fail? You should think practically. Are these comments really about the business? No. Questions. Most of the time, these are the fears they have, fears they never overcame. They project it on you because your courage exposes their stagnation. Questions. Your willingness to take a chance highlights their unwillingness to take risks. It's like you're carrying a light in the dark. Questions. People who have lived in darkness for too long feel uncomfortable when the light shines. Instead of embracing the brightness, they shut their eyes and say, questions. Turn it off, not because the light is bad, but because their eyes are not used to seeing clearly. That's how human behavior works. Let me give you a relatable scenario. Questions. You're improving your life. You cut off toxic habits. You stop wasting time. You focus on personal growth. Suddenly someone says, you've changed. They don't say it as a compliment. Questions. They say it as an accusation. But ask yourself, are they upset because you changed or because they didn't? Often your growth makes other people uncomfortable. Not because it harms their questions, but because it forces them to confront the truth they've been running away from. I'll share a beautiful analogy. Imagine you start climbing a staircase. Questions. Someone standing on the first step watches you reach the fifth step. Now, they have two options. Questions. Climb with you, pull you down so you stay on their level. Most choose the second option because the first requires effort, discipline, and courage. Their insecurity whispers. If they rise higher, questions, you look smaller. And instead of rising, they try to shrink you. But listen carefully. A person's comment about you is more of a confession about themselves. People say, questions, you can't do it, because they don't believe they can. People say, this is impossible, because they have never made it possible. People say, questions, dreams don't work, because they stopped chasing theirs long ago. When someone hates on you, you must understand it's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. Questions. It's a sign that you're doing something right. Your progress disrupts their comfort zone. Your potential threatens their limitations. Your light exposes their shadow. Here's another simple questions. Relatable example, imagine someone sees you posting your achievements online. Maybe you completed a course, started a project, or reached a fitness milestone. Questions. Some people comment with genuine happiness, but others make sarcastic remarks like, questions, too much showing off, or stop acting like you're special. But ask yourself, are they offended by your achievement, or by the feeling that they haven't achieved anything in a long time? Questions. Most hatred is rooted in comparison. Most criticism is rooted in jealousy. Most negativity is rooted in insecurity. So don't take their words personally. Don't question your worth. Questions. Don't shrink your potential. Remember, if someone throws poison at you, it means poison is what they carry inside. You don't have to drink it. You can simply walk away. Questions. Instead of reacting with anger, respond with understanding. Instead of getting discouraged, get even more focused. Instead of taking their words to your heart, questions, take them as a reminder of why you must continue to rise. Because at the end of the day, critics don't pay your bills. Haters don't create your destiny. Insecure people don't shape your future. Questions, you do. So the next time someone throws negativity at you, just smile gently and say in your mind, this is not about me. This is about their insecurity. Questions. I will not let their wounds stop my growth. And then continue your journey with confidence, compassion, and clarity. Questions. Growth is a funny thing. It doesn't come with celebration at first. It doesn't come with claps, applause, or praise. Most of the time, questions. The first thing that arrives when you start growing is opposition, resistance, criticism, negativity. People pulling you down, questioning your motives, doubting your decisions. And strangely, questions. That's exactly how you know you're moving upward. Think of it like this: nobody notices a seed buried deep under the soil. Nobody bothers it. Nobody comments on it. Nobody steps on it deliberately. Questions. It's invisible. But the moment the seed begins to break the ground, just a tiny sprout, suddenly everything starts happening. A passerby might step on it without intention. Questions. A goat might try to munch it. A child might try to play with it. People might cut the grass around it. Why? Because the seed has finally become visible. And that's what happens in life. Questions. The moment you become visible, you become vulnerable. The moment you rise, you attract attention. The moment you grow, you invite opposition. If you were not growing, nobody would care. Questions. But because you're moving upward, people react. Opposition is simply the world's way of acknowledging your progress. Let's take a daily life example you may have experienced. Questions. You decide to start a fitness journey. During the first week, you feel proud of yourself. You're waking up early. You're working out. You're eating healthy. Questions. But suddenly your friends start teasing you. Oh, look, he became a fitness trainer overnight. You won't last for long. This is just a phase. Questions. You'll quit soon. Don't act like you're the only disciplined person here. Now think deeply. Did they ever tease you when you were skipping workouts? Questions. Did they ever comment when you had unhealthy habits? Did they react when you were stagnant? No. Because stagnation is silent. Progress makes noise. Your effort, your change, questions, your discipline, all of that shook them a little. Not because you did something wrong, but because your growth reminded them of their own lack of growth. And instead of joining you, they oppose you. Questions. That's how you know you're rising. Here's another relatable example. You start a small business or a side hustle. In the beginning, everyone ignores it. Questions. Even your own relatives don't take it seriously. But the moment you post your progress online or start earning a little, suddenly the comments begin. Questions. Are you sure this is legal? Why are you wasting time on this? It won't survive. Don't dream too big. You think you're too smart. These comments do not appear when you are at the bottom. Questions. They appear only when you start climbing. Opposition is the shadow of progress. One of the most beautiful real life illustrations is a flight taking off. When a plane is on the ground, questions, everything is calm. No wind resistance, no turbulence, no shaking. But the moment the plane starts lifting, the air hits against it with force. The wings shake. There's pressure. Questions. Does the pilot get scared and turn back? Does he say, "Oh no, resistance, let's stop the plane"? No. The pilot knows something essential. Questions. Resistance is necessary to lift off. Without air pressure, the plane cannot rise. Without that pushback, it will never take off. Your life works the same way. When you rise, resistance increases. Questions. Opposition pushes against you, but this doesn't stop you. It actually helps you go higher. Sometimes the universe uses haters as your wind. Their resistance becomes your lift. Questions. Their doubt becomes your determination. Their negativity becomes your motivation. Let's take a deeply personal example. Many people experience it. You decide to improve yourself emotionally. Questions. You let go of toxic friendships. You stop allowing disrespect. You begin to choose peace over drama. Suddenly, the very people who mistreated you say, questions. You've become selfish. You don't care anymore. You've changed. This isn't you. But think about it carefully. Were they complaining when you accepted disrespect? Questions. Were they complaining when you tolerated nonsense? Were they complaining when you put yourself last? No. They complain only when you grow, because your new boundaries inconvenience their old patterns. Questions. Opposition is not a sign that you're wrong. It's a sign that you're refusing to remain who you used to be. When a crab tries to climb out of a basket, the other crabs pull it back inside. Questions. Not because the crab climbing is wrong, but because the other crabs are not willing to climb themselves. This is exactly what people do. They pull you down because they are not willing to rise. Questions. If you're receiving no opposition in life, maybe you're not growing enough. If everyone is comfortable with your choices, maybe you're living too safely. If nobody is disturbed by your progress, questions, maybe you're not progressing at all. Opposition is universe whispering, you're moving. Keep going. Great achievers everywhere in the world, questions, weren't welcomed with applause at the beginning. They were doubted, questioned, laughed at, criticized, attacked. And that opposition didn't stop them. It shaped them. It built their character. Questions. It strengthened their focus. It made them unstoppable. Remember this, people attack what threatens them. People criticize what they do not understand. People resist what they cannot become. Questions. So if people are resisting you, if they're doubting you, if they're questioning you, smile. It means you are becoming someone they never expected you to be. Questions. Opposition is the proof of your growth. And the louder the resistance, the higher you are rising. Questions. In a world that constantly tests your patience, your emotions, and your inner balance, one of the greatest strengths you can ever develop is the ability to stay calm, be kind, questions, and remain grounded, especially when negativity surrounds you. When someone insults you, mocks your efforts, or tries to provoke you, your reaction reveals more about you than about them. Questions. The real power is not in shouting louder, arguing harder, or proving yourself right. The real power is in staying composed even when the situation tries to pull you into chaos. Think about daily life. Questions. Imagine you're on your way to work or school, feeling good, listening to music, and someone suddenly cuts you off in traffic. Immediately your mind reacts, how dare they? Your ego jumps in. Questions, urging you to honk aggressively or speed up to overtake them. But if you pause for just a moment and breathe, you realize something beautiful. Their action has nothing to do with you. Questions. Maybe they're late. Maybe they're stressed. Maybe they simply made a mistake. If you respond calmly instead of reacting impulsively, you save your peace and protect your entire day. Questions. This is what staying calm does. It saves you from battles that your soul never needed to fight. Let's look at another simple example. Suppose you're at home, questions, and a family member says something rude to you. It hurts. Maybe their tone doesn't respect you. Maybe their words feel unfair. Your heart wants to shout back. Your ego wants to defend itself. Questions, but your wisdom whispers, stay calm. Their words are a reflection of their mood, not your worth. If you choose kindness over reaction, something magical happens. The conflict dissolves faster. Questions. The atmosphere stays peaceful, and you walk away with your dignity intact, because calmness is not weakness. Calmness is maturity. Questions. It means you refuse to let someone else's negativity control your emotions. Let's imagine a scenario many people face. You're working hard on a dream. Maybe studying, maybe building a project. Questions. Maybe improving your lifestyle. Suddenly someone says something hurtful. What's the point? You won't make it, but you're wasting your time. In that moment, questions. Your heart may want to argue. You may want to prove them wrong immediately. But reacting angrily only drains your energy. And worse, it pulls you into their emotional level. Questions. Think of a beautiful concept. If someone hands you a burning coal, you can refuse to hold it. But if you grab it in anger to throw it back, you burn your own hand first. That's what anger does. Questions. It hurts you before it hurts anyone else. Staying calm is not about letting people walk over you. It's about choosing your battles wisely. You don't need to respond to every insult, questions. You don't need to fight every comment. You don't need to win every argument. Because peace is more valuable than winning, questions. Peace lasts longer than the satisfaction of being right, and kindness. Kindness is your quiet superpower. Imagine someone is rude to you at a store, maybe the cashier or a stranger in line. Questions. You choose to respond politely, gently, even though you didn't receive that energy back. Later you may discover the cashier had a terrible day. Maybe their child is sick. Questions. Maybe they're struggling financially. Maybe they're tired. Your kindness becomes a healing moment in their day. This is what kind people do. They heal the world in small, invisible ways. Questions. Or think of a coworker who always speaks in a harsh tone. Instead of reacting, you stay gentle. Over time, they soften. Not because you argued with them, questions, but because your kindness became a mirror to their behavior. You didn't fight them, you uplifted them. Being grounded means remembering who you are, even when people try to shake you. Questions. It means your sense of worth does not depend on someone's praise or criticism. You remain rooted in your values. Respect, humility, compassion. Questions. You don't become arrogant when someone compliments you, and you don't fall apart when someone criticizes you. Grounded people are like strong trees. Winds may blow. Storms may arrive. Questions. Some leaves may fall, but the tree remains steady because it is deeply rooted. A grounded person doesn't react impulsively. They respond mindfully. They don't chase validation. Questions. They don't get carried away by drama. They stay connected to their inner strength. Think of someone you truly admire in your life. Maybe a teacher, a mentor, a family member, questions, or even a spiritual figure. What makes them inspiring? It's not that they never face problems. It's that they handle problems with grace. They don't panic. They don't explode. Questions. They don't lose themselves in anger. People follow calmness because calmness is comforting. Staying calm, kind, and grounded has a special effect on your haters too. Questions. When someone tries to provoke you and you respond with peace, it confuses them. When someone expects anger but receives kindness, it disarms them. When someone attacks you but you stay grounded, questions, it weakens their intention. Your calmness becomes your shield. Your kindness becomes your strength. Your groundedness becomes your identity. One day, questions, people will admire you not for how loudly you spoke, but for how peacefully you lived. Not for how many battles you fought, but for how many battles you walked away from. Questions. Not for how powerful you looked, but for how powerful you stayed inside. So whenever life tests you, remember you rise higher when you stay calm. You grow stronger when you stay kind. Questions. And you shine brighter when you stay grounded. Questions. Every day life gives you two choices. You can spend your energy reacting to negativity, or you can spend your energy building your dreams. And the truth is, the more you grow, questions, the more life will test you with distractions, people who provoke you, circumstances that irritate you, and situations that try to pull you into unnecessary battles. Questions. But those who rise high in life are the ones who learn how to redirect their energy instead of wasting it. Imagine this simple everyday example. You wake up feeling good. You plan your day. Questions. You have things to accomplish. Suddenly, someone at home makes a sarcastic comment, maybe about your goals, maybe about your choices, maybe just to irritate you. Questions. Your first reaction is to defend yourself, argue, or snap back. But if you do that, you lose your focus for the next hour. Your mind keeps replaying the argument. Your energy drops. Your mood shifts. Questions. And your day is no longer yours. Not because of what they said, but because you gave your energy to a moment that didn't deserve it. Think of your energy like a battery. Every argument, questions, every explanation, every emotional reaction, every unnecessary conflict drains the battery, And by the time you sit to work on your dream, you're too drained to focus. Questions. Not because your dream is difficult, but because you spent your energy on things that don't grow you. Let me share a relatable example. You post something online, maybe your progress, your work, questions, your transformation. Most people like it, but one person comments something negative. Questions. This looks fake. You think you're better than others. Your work is not impressive. No, at that moment you have two roads. Road 1, reply, argue, defend, justify. Questions. Road 2, ignore, smile, and keep creating. If you choose road 1, you may spend the next 20 minutes typing explanations. Then the next 2 hours thinking about questions. Then the whole day feeling emotionally disturbed. That single comment gets a VIP seat in your mind. But if you choose road 2, questions, something magical happens. You take the energy that could have become anger and instead use it to create something new. And suddenly, negativity becomes fuel. Questions. Your energy goes where your attention goes. So protect your attention like treasure. Another example, imagine you're working in an office or classroom. You're focused, doing your best. Questions. Then a coworker or classmate makes a snide remark like, "Why are you working so seriously? Relax, no one here cares that much." At that moment, you may feel pressure to respond. Questions. To prove you're not being too much. But what if you simply smiled and kept working? What if you refused to let the casual negativity divert your focus? By doing that, questions, you're making a strong statement without saying a word. Questions. My growth is more important than your opinion. People waste precious hours arguing with someone who has already decided not to understand. Questions. It's like trying to teach a fish how to climb a tree, or trying to convince someone who is committed to misunderstanding you. Better to use that time building the life you want. Think of champions. Questions. Successful people, spiritual leaders. All of them have the same 24 hours you have. What separates them is not talent, not luck, not intelligence, but how they manage their energy. Questions. They don't respond to every insult. They don't fight every critic. They don't explain everything to everyone. Their silence is not weakness, it is focus. Imagine a river. Questions. If the river stops to argue with every stone in its path, it will never reach the ocean. But because the river keeps flowing, the stones eventually get smooth and the river continues with grace. Questions. That is what redirecting energy looks like. Let negativity be a stone. Let your purpose be the river. Keep flowing. Let me share another real life scenario. Questions. You're preparing for an exam or working on a project. You're committed. But someone close to you keeps saying things like, "Why do you work so hard? You're stressing too much." Or even worse, questions. Even if you succeed, what's the point? If you use your energy explaining your passion to someone who doesn't value it, you lose time, focus, and emotional strength. Questions. But if you politely ignore them and channel that energy back into your studies or project, your results will speak louder than any argument ever could. When you redirect energy, questions, you're not avoiding problems, you're choosing priorities. Even spiritually, this principle holds true. Gaur Gopal often says, "Don't react, respond." Questions. And sometimes the best response is no reaction at all. Because every reaction is a transaction. You give a part of your mental peace to someone in exchange for nothing valuable. Questions. But when you invest your energy into your craft, your discipline, your growth, your dreams, you get rewarded, not drained. Another powerful example. Questions. Imagine you're improving your lifestyle, maybe eating healthier, avoiding drama, focusing on growth. Some people may tease you or say, questions, you're acting different. Your ego might want to prove to them why you're doing this. But the wiser choice is to stay silent and continue on your path. In time, questions, your transformation becomes undeniable, and the same people who laughed will ask you how you did it. Redirecting energy is choosing long-term victory over short-term satisfaction. Questions. So whenever life sends negativity your way, remember this: you can feed your ego or you can feed your dream. You can fight or you can focus. You can react or you can rise. Questions. And rising always takes less energy than reacting. Redirect your energy to what builds you, not what breaks you. The world cannot stop someone who knows where their energy belongs.